Let's talk about how we create a velocity time graph from a position time graph. Here we have our position time graph. The object is starting at position 2 meters, positive 2 meters. It's moving in a positive direction for the first 4 seconds. Then it stands still for the next 2 seconds, and then it heads back towards the origin, so it's going in the negative direction for the remaining 4 seconds until we reach 10 seconds. So how do we go ahead and convert this into a velocity time graph? First, we need to analyze the slope of each line segment because that will tell us the velocity. So for instance, if we find the slope of this segment from 0 seconds to 4 seconds, it will tell us the velocity. If we remember, slope is just simply rise over run. We marked out our run, which goes from 0 seconds to 4 seconds, and our rise, which goes from 2 meters to 10 meters. So our rise is 8 meters, our run is 4 seconds. If we do the calculation of slope, rise divided by run, we get 2 meters per second. So from 0 seconds to 4 seconds, the velocity of the object was 2 meters per second. Now we need to go over and show that on our velocity time graph. It's a constant 2 meters per second from 0 seconds to 4 seconds. So we draw this flat line from 0 seconds to 4 seconds at the 2 meters per second. Well, next we need to look at this section from 4 to 6 seconds. It's a flat line, so it has a run of 2 seconds, but it has no rise because it's flat, because the object was standing still, wasn't changing position. This had a velocity of 0 meters per second. Now we have to go ahead and from 4 seconds to 6 seconds, draw our flat velocity line at a velocity of 0 meters per second. Next, let's calculate the rise and run for our last segment from 6 seconds to 10 seconds. The rise was negative 4 meters. Now you may be saying, why is it negative 4 meters? Well, remember, to calculate the rise, it's the final position, which is 6 meters, minus the initial position, which was 10 meters. So for this segment, the displacement was negative 4 meters. And the run was the final time, 10 seconds, minus the initial time, 4 seconds. When we calculate this slope, negative 4 meters, which was our rise, divided by 4 seconds, which was our run, we come up with a slope of negative 1 meters per second. That tells us that our velocity from 6 seconds to 10 seconds was negative 1 meters per second. So we need to draw a flat line at negative 1 meters per second from 6 seconds to 10 seconds. So this is how we go from a position time graph to creating a velocity time graph.